The average human lifespan is roughly 4,000 weeks. Once you see life this way, time stops feeling abstract. 4,000 weeks asks a simple but unsettling question. Why do we feel constantly rushed, even as technology promises efficiency? Oliver Burkeman argues that our anxiety does not come from lack of time, but from the belief that time can be fully controlled. Productivity systems, to-do lists, and optimization tools do not free us. They reinforce the illusion that someday we will finally catch up, but we never do. The book's central idea is uncomfortable. Life is finite. Resisting this truth leads to frantic busyness. Accepting it creates freedom. When we accept limits, we can choose. We stop trying to do everything and begin committing to what truly matters. Berkman exposes the trap of efficiency. Efficiency appears to save time, but it actually expands expectations. Freed up time is immediately filled with more obligations. As a result, we remain perpetually overwhelmed. The problem is not poor time management, but unrealistic assumptions about what life should contain. 4,000 weeks does not teach better scheduling. It asks better questions. What are you willing to give your limited time to? What are you willing to let go? Meaning arises not from control, but from commitment, presence, and acceptance of imperfection. Berkman does not advocate laziness. He argues for a calm acceptance of incompleteness. Missed opportunities, unfinished tasks, and lingering uncertainty are part of being human. Peace comes not from mastery over time, but from coexistence with its limits. In an age of burnout, overchoice, and constant urgency, 4,000 weeks offers a grounded perspective. It suggests that a meaningful life begins when we stop trying to outrun time. Now, let's explore how the idea of 4,000 weeks reshapes modern work culture, burnout recovery, and the difficult choices about where to invest our limited time and attention.
All right, today we're going to tackle something that affects every single one of us, our relationship with time. We're diving into the work of Oliver Burkeman to completely reframe how you think about your days, your goals, and, well, your very limited time here. And it all starts with one single powerful number.
So what's with the number 4,000? Well, it's a number that's both huge and honestly kind of terrifyingly small. According to Berkman, this is roughly how many weeks you have in your entire life, if you're lucky enough to live to be 80. When you frame it like that, not in years, which seem to stretch on forever, but in weeks, the brevity of it all just hits you like a ton of bricks. And that, right there, is the ultimate time management problem, isn't it? It's not really about how to squeeze more tasks into your day. It's about staring that number in the face and figuring out what to do with it. This feeling, this pressure, is the source of so much of our modern anxiety, that constant nagging feeling that we're always falling behind.
Seeing your life laid out in weeks like this can trigger what Berkman calls an anxious hurry. You know that feeling? That frantic need to optimize everything, to hack your life, to somehow get ahead of a clock that is always ticking down.
I mean, just think about it. Our entire culture is obsessed with productivity. We've got endless to-do lists, inboxes that are overflowing, and this constant fire hose of life hacks, all promising that if we just find the right system, we can finally get on top of everything.
But here's the real paradox. All of these efforts to master our time, they often just make our anxiety worse. The more we try to wrestle time into submission, the more we feel its limits, and the more all the truly meaningful parts of life seem to slip right through our fingers.
And this brings us to the core problem Berkman points out. This isn't some personal failing or a lack of willpower on your part. It's a systemic issue, and he has a name for it: the productivity trap.
This is such a crucial point. The more stuff you get done, the more stuff you find you have to do. You get faster at answering emails, so what happens? You just get more emails. You clear your plate, only to find it's been filled up again, even faster than before. It's a game that is fundamentally rigged, and you can't win just by getting more efficient.
And you know what? It's not just an internal battle. As tech ethicist Tristan Harris points out here, there are incredibly powerful forces actively working against us. Our attention is a finite resource, and it's literally being mined for profit. Trying to resist all that with willpower alone? It's like trying to hold back the ocean.
So if fighting harder doesn't work, what's the answer? Well, it's something pretty radical: surrender. It's about embracing our limitations, what Berkman calls finitude, because, believe it or not, that's where we find a whole new kind of freedom. Admitting defeat here isn't about failing. It's about finally embracing what was always true.
You have to choose. You will have to sacrifice some really important things for other really important things. And when you accept that, you escape what Berkman calls existential overwhelm, that paralysis that comes from trying to do it all.
This slide just lays out the mental shift so clearly. On the left, you've got this exhausting, totally impossible modern goal of getting everything done. And on the right, the liberating alternative, consciously choosing what actually matters and being at peace with letting the rest go. Now, I know this might sound a little bleak, but stick with me because it is incredibly freeing. The universe, in the grand scheme of things, really doesn't care if you clear your inbox or achieve all your big ambitions. Realizing your own smallness lifts this enormous weight off your shoulders. You're suddenly free to just focus on what gives your life meaning, right here and right now, without that crushing pressure to change the world.
Okay, so the philosophy here is powerful stuff, but how do we actually put it into practice in our day-to-day lives? Well, Berkman gives us some really practical tools for living within our limits.
First, practice something he calls strategic underachievement. You can't be amazing at everything, so consciously decide which balls you're just going to let drop. Second, fight that modern urge to have a dozen projects going at once. Pick one big thing and see it through. And third, make your technology less distracting. Use devices that only do one thing, like an e-reader, or, hey, even just turn your phone screen to grayscale.
I absolutely love this reframing of FOMO, the fear of missing out. Cultivating JOMO, the joy of missing out, is this thrilling realization that because you have to choose, your choices actually have weight and meaning. It's a celebration of limitation.
So, when all is said and done, what's the ultimate takeaway here? If we stop fighting this impossible battle against our own finitude, what does a truly meaningful life start to look like?
This quote really just nails it, doesn't it? Every single time you commit to one thing, a relationship, a project, spending an afternoon with your kids, you are, by definition, sacrificing countless other possibilities. And that sacrifice, that choice, that is the very substance of a meaningful life. And this is the final, huge shift in perspective. It's about moving from trying to master time to simply being in time. Instead of seeing your life as this resource you have to manage for some future payoff, the invitation is to just inhabit the life you have as it unfolds, moment by moment, to be present for the tiny slice of human experience you actually get.
And that's the question I want to leave you with. If you let go of this need for everything to pay off, for every project to be this huge success, what would you do just for the love of doing it? How would you use your 4,000 weeks if the goal wasn't to win, but simply to live?